Is, again, I want to say, is the gift something on demand? Is there always an available gift for anybody at any time?
I would say in that the Holy Spirit resides in you, there is always the availability. But is it always God's will? And the idea of a word on demand, I think that in my mind that's kind of a dangerous concept.
Sure.
Now, because I think again that gets you under the pressure to perform. I've never. On the other hand, I've been in situations like I remember once in a business meeting, a Foursquare conference for pastors, and they had a business session, and the leader of that conference wanted me to be there, and then in the middle of this business session decided that he wanted me to pray for people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and he just kind of says, Dan, this would be a good time. Let's what he said. Let's turn you loose for a little while to minister to people.
Cold turkey.
And it's like, I mean, we're talking business, and then, but you know something? The minute I got up, it started to flow.
Yeah.
And again, there was no way my mind could wrap around how that happened. So I do think there's a sense in which the Holy Spirit's in you, so He's always available. But the fact, for me to turn it on and off, I've always struggled with that concept.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I've had people say we would like to have you come and have a service and have a word for everyone, So, but I've always thought, my first thought would be, I can't turn it off and on like that,
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, there is another factor in that the Holy Spirit says, you don't know how much I can do. Are you going to limit me? Yeah, there's this little conversation going on with a visible person that's asking me, and
That's right.
and me talking to myself, and then the Holy Spirit putting in His thoughts, And I think all those factors need to be considered. That you're not on demand, as it were. But on the other hand, that fear of being on demand and that natural inclination to say, I can't turn it off and on, are we limiting what the Lord can do?
Right.
There's so much more He wants to do.
So what you're really saying is that it keeps us in a place of total dependence on the Holy Spirit. That it isn't ours to on-demand kind of thing, but it is the Holy Spirit in us. You take the step of faith, He does the work. So in that sense, that keeps you totally dependent. I've always felt like, when I start praying for people, it's always like, what happens if? I'm always concerned about what happens if I get up there, even to speak, and the Holy Spirit doesn't show up. I mean, I know I can say things, but frankly, I don't think that's what people really need or they're after. They need a touch from God. And what happens if He doesn't? But the reality is, I've never known Him not to. But it isn't because of my gifting or anything of that nature. It's just because the Holy Spirit is so willing and open to touch lives. And we get the awesome privilege of being channels. That also says you need to guard this very carefully.
That's good.
It's an awesome privilege. And guard the people that you're ministering to. Never take advantage of them. Because they're an awesome gift.
They're so
are.
trusting.
And they're trusting.
Yes.
So I don't ever, that misusing it for me is a huge issue. Because I know it could be done so easily, and I don't want to do that.